Hi, everyone. It's Tim Schaefer with Arete Coaching Group. Do you ever wish that your employees and team members were more accountable? Well, if the answer is yes, you're not alone. In fact, I'm approached by leaders often who ask similar questions. They ask, how can I get my employees to be more responsible? Or how can I get my employees and team members to be more accountable to achieving results? Those are important questions. Most people would begin by looking at the team members and what they're doing or what they're not doing. I take a different approach. In fact, my approach is I look first at the leader. That's right. I believe that in leadership, for leaders, holding others accountable begins with holding oneself accountable. I'm going to say that again. I believe for leaders, holding others accountable really begins with holding oneself accountable. In other words, as a leader, are you saying the things that need to be said? Are you speaking the truth? And doing it in a way that is respectful, demonstrates care, so that the other person can understand it, receive it, and take action on it? Are you taking the actions that need to be taken to help your team members and your employees to deliver on results and achieve success? Those are the questions. Now, oftentimes I hear from leaders when I ask those questions, different reasons. Some seem very rational and make sense, and others maybe not as much. But they tend to the reasoning follow into three basic categories. The first category is the reason if I'm not holding people accountable, it's because people say they believe that their team members should do it themselves. We're all adults. In fact, oftentimes people will say, most of my team members have degrees, some have masters, we're all adults, I'm not here to babysit, right? They should want to be accountable. Well, the reality is, I'll tell you, I've had the great fortune of being a part of high-performing teams, leading high-performing teams, and certainly working with high-performing teams. And what I know to be true, even about the most productive and high-performing teams, is they still need a leader. They still need someone to coach them, encourage them, inspire them, challenge them, in essence, hold them accountable. The second area that I find leaders often say, or the reason that they may not be holding themselves and others accountable, is they simply say, I don't have time. That's right, they're so busy that they're busy not only doing other people's work, doing their own work. I mean, that's true. I hear that all the time from leaders, that leaders are feeling overwhelmed. They're just so busy. And yet, when we dig in and spend time really asking about what actions and behaviors, leaders, will help you and your team achieve long-term success and the greatest results, is there something that you're doing today that you could stop doing that is not creating great value and use that time to coach, encourage, challenge your team? In other words, hold them accountable. The answer is likely yes. The third area that I find most reasons leaders use for not holding themselves, thus their team, accountable, is this area of conflict or discomfort around conflict or fear of conflict. It's a real thing for many people. In fact, I'll tell you that in my early part of my career, I avoided conflict. Yeah, I avoided conflict. In fact, I remember I was a manager early on in my career. I was a manager of a department within an organization. And my boss pulled me aside one day and said, Schaefer, what is the reason that you're not holding this employee, let's call this employee Sarah, I'm making that name up, you're not holding Sarah accountable for being on time to work. It's creating negativity and an issue of morale around for the employees. It's impacting the customer experience, and yet you're not addressing it. What is the reason? Well, I don't really even remember what I said back to him in that moment, but I know for me, the truth is, I just want everybody to get along. I want it to be smooth. I want people to like me. And I didn't want to cause greater conflict. And the reality was, me not addressing or holding this person accountable was causing greater conflict within the team. And he said something to me that day that really stuck with me that day and helped shift my thinking around accountability. And that was simply this: Schaefer, your fear of conflict or your need to feel comfortable, you are choosing your need to feel comfortable over sharing with Sarah what she needs to know to be successful. Successful for herself, successful as a team member, successful in this organization. You are choosing your comfort over helping Sarah be successful. I'll tell you, in that moment, something clicked. It made sense to me that, because I had always thought about accountability as punishment. Somebody's getting written up. Somebody's going to lose, if you will. Now, I think it's important on what we say and how we hold people accountable, so it's not punitive, but instead of it being punishment, holding oneself as a leader to hold others accountable is about helping others be successful. That's accountability. Saying the things we need to say, speaking the truth, doing it in a way that people can understand it, receive it, and take action on it, taking the actions we need to take to help that individual and our team members achieve results, greater results, and be successful. For leaders, holding others accountable begins with holding oneself accountable. So if you like what you've heard during this video or would like to talk about how we at Arete coaching group might help you and your team be even more accountable and achieve greater results, feel free to check out our website at Arete, ARETE coachinggroup.com, or email me at tim@aretecoachinggroup.com, or check us out on social media. We look forward to talking to you. Thank you.